Bismillah wa salatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So we're gonna start, inshallah, as we said. We're gonna go through the package first, and inshallah, after this, we'll have the questions and answer. Before I start, I would like to thank all of you for making prayers for me. Alhamdulillah. As you all know, I was in the hospital. I had an operation, but by Allah first, and then your dua. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I'm in recovery right now. Every day is better than the other day. So I thank you all. Jazakumullah khair for your prayers. You're very kind. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept, inshallah, from you and inshallah accept your Hajj. Bismillah. So I'm going to show. Okay, can you see the screens, brothers and sisters, the calendar?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So I have to say this. I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. MashaAllah. MashaAllah, this is the best package that we have this year. Every year, subhanAllah, we get kind of one package that is out of every other package is the best. The reason I say the best is because this package is balanced. It gives enough time in Medina so that you can break the ice, especially for the first time Hujjaj, and have enough like seminars with the shuyukh. And then it gives you enough time in Mecca to perform Umrah and pray in the Haram. And then obviously the Hajj days. And then after that, it gives enough time for performing Tawaf al-Wada'. So it's a balanced package in Medina and in Mecca. Also, the accommodation in both Medina and Mecca are beautiful. 4-star in Mecca and 5 stars in Mecca, and they're both close to Al-Masjid al-Nabawi and Al-Haram. So it's beautiful, and it obviously has Magar Kabsh camp, which is right across of Jamarat. So mashallah, tabarakallah, it's one of the best packages that we have this year. So I'm gonna jump into the itinerary, inshallah. So we all going to travel, or most of us are going to travel on Emirates airline, except the Hujjaj who are coming from US. They have different airlines. But from Canada, we're all traveling on Emirates airline. Now, the group leaders and the imams are going to go with the first group. So the first group is going to be there on the 24th. So on the 24th, the shuyukh and the group leaders are going with the first group so that they can, inshallah, receive you in Medina. So on the departure day, if you live in the GTA area or in Ontario and you're coming to the Toronto Pearson Airport, please arrive there 4 to 5 hours before your departure. Same thing if you're in West Canada or in Montreal and you're traveling, coming here, when you book your domestic flight, be sure to book your domestic flight 5 hours in advance than the departure time. This way, la qaddar Allah, if anything is to happen and the domestic flight is canceled and you need to book another flight, you have enough time to reach Toronto, inshallah. Now, if you're able to come a night before, that's even better. If you're able to come a night before and spend the night in one of the hotels, the airport hotels in Toronto, that's even better. This way, the next day you can go to the airport relaxed. You're not in a hurry or anything like this. So I'm going to start with the departure with inshallah. Once we arrive to the airport, you are going to go to the check-in counter. You're going to check in like you normally do when you travel. And inshallah, you'll meet the rest of the group. The group is going to meet at the gate, so inside. So when you arrive, inshallah, don't wait for anybody. Just go ahead and check in your luggage and go inside the gate. You'll meet everybody at the gate. You're all in one WhatsApp group, so you can keep in touch with each other, with each other, inshallah, and meet each other inside the gate. So once you arrive in Medina, Dur Hospitality, they have a booth in Medina. So once you arrive, you're gonna go through immigration. They're gonna check your documents, you're gonna check your visa, they're gonna ask you, sometimes they ask for fingerprints. You're gonna do all that. It's not gonna take that much time, but also keep in mind that it's busy. Everybody's coming approximately in the same time, so it's gonna be busy, but it's not gonna be that busy. Medina Airport is way better than Jeddah Airport. So Alhamdulillah, you're all arriving to Medina first. Now, once you finish the immigration, you're gonna take the escalator and you're gonna go where the luggage area are. You're gonna collect your luggage and come out of the luggage area. That's where you're gonna see our representative, so Falcon Travel representative, and you are going to see also Dur representative. So they're gonna take you and they will escort you to the bus. The bus is gonna take you and go to Al Munakha Rotana Hotel in Medina. So that's your first hotel in Medina, inshallah. There, you're going to meet Hajj Ala, you're going to see Sheikh Riyad, you're going to see Brother Shadi, you're going to see Sheikh Abdullah, you're going to see all the group leaders and the shuyukh, inshallah. They're going to help you by handing out your room keys and your IDs as well. So the IDs for the Hajjaj, to the special ID, it is printed by the Ministry of Hajj. This special ID, you should be wearing it at all time, and this will help you get into the camp in Magar Kabsh. So be sure, inshallah, that to get your ID, and also be sure that you don't lose it, because last year we got a couple of Hajjaj who lost it, and it was a big issue. So be sure not to lose it, inshallah. All right, so we're gonna arrive there on the 28th. That's the arrival day, and we're gonna spend from the 8th of May until June 1st. This is the period we're gonna spend it in Medina. During this period in the hotel, you got breakfast and dinner. Both are open buffet. And you have also a Friday. So mashallah, you're gonna be able to pray one Friday in Al Masjid Al Nabawi. Okay, so be sure not to miss that Friday prayer, inshallah. Now, during this stay, you can do a couple of things. Number one, you can go on visitation. We're gonna, inshallah, we're gonna share with you what visitation, what are the sites, and where you can take them. Some people like to go by themselves. You can take a taxi and they will take you in a tour, or some people would like to go in a group. Inshallah, we will talk about this biiznillah ta'ala when we arrive to Medina. I did a mistake when I was sharing this screen. I did it. Let me actually try to do it again. So, sorry, 1 second. I want to share it as, okay. Yalla, inshallah. I just, okay. I think some Hujjaj are moving the screen, so it moves for everybody. It's okay. So yes, so you can do the sightseeing, inshallah, in Medina. That's one thing you can do. Also, Medina is known for the shopping. So if you are missing anything, we're gonna share with you a list of things that you don't have to buy. We just recommend it that you buy out of experience from last years. We're gonna share that with you, inshallah. If you don't find something here, don't stress yourself. Saudi has everything, okay? And by the way, they accept Visa, MasterCard, so you can take those with you, inshallah. There's no problem. Also, the best currency to take when you travel to Hajj is US dollars. So you can take a little bit of US dollars, maybe $100, $200, $300, whatever you want. You can take that with you. And bi'iznillahi ta'ala, when you're there, when you need more money, you can access your debit Visa if you have, or debit MasterCard, or your credit card. But all the stores there, they accept credit cards. Okay, so you can use that when you do shopping. They're known, of course, with their dates. They're the best in Medina. And if you want to do any other shopping for gifts and stuff like that, the best place is Medina, not Mecca. Mecca is overpriced, so everything there is more expensive. So another thing we're gonna do in Medina, inshallah, is we're gonna collect the qurbanis. We talked about the qurbani is not included in the package. It costs about 250 American dollars per person. So that, bi'iznillahi ta'ala, will be collected by the Falcon staff over there in Medina, bi'iznillahi ta'ala. Okay. Now, on June 1st, obviously, you're going to have some lectures with the shuyukh. We're going to give you the timing and the dates when we're closer to the departure date, bi'iznillahi ta'ala, or in Medina. The main thing is that every Haji has to be on the WhatsApp group. Every Haji. So let's say a couple is going, a husband and a wife. Both of them should be on the WhatsApp group, inshallah. This way, you receive updates and you receive announcements live. You don't wait. Let's say the husband is in a quad room and the wife is in a quad room. Then you don't wait until you meet to get the updates. No, you receive them at the same time, inshallah. So, bi'iznillahi ta'ala, June 1st, we are going to wear our ihram at the hotel. Okay, that's the beauty of going to Medina first. We'll change, we'll take the shower, we'll go through all the acts of Ihram, which Sheikh Riyadh will go through it step by step, inshallah, in the last two webinars. So we'll change, we'll wear the Ihram, and we'll go to Mecca. When we go to Mecca, inshallah, we'll go by train. Okay, so we will make the intention while going, and bi'iznillahi ta'ala will reach Mecca on the same day, obviously June 1st. At that time, we are going to the Makarim Ajyad Mecca Hotel. So this is one of the five-star hotels in Mecca. It's one of my personal favorite one. The reason I love it so much is because of two things. Number one, it overlooks the haram. So you can see the haram. Once you step out of the hotel, you actually see the haram. It's direct. Nobody can get lost. There's no way. And if I leave my room in Makarim Ajyad, and a person staying at Abraj al-Bayt leave the room, I'll reach the haram faster, which is good in the time of prayers. Why? Because this hotel doesn't have 13 floors of shopping center. So there's no two elevators. There's only one elevator you take down from your room to the lobby, and then you just walk to the haram. Versus Abraj al-Bayt, you always take two elevators, one to the 13th floor, and from there you get down to the lobby or to the haram floor. So we're gonna check in the hotel, and then inshallah, on the time that we will agree on, we'll meet again at the lobby with the sheikh and the group leader to perform our umrah. As you all know, there are three types of Hajj. Okay, there's Hajj Tamattu'. Tamattu' in Arabic means, in English, enjoying. So the reason we call it Tamattu' is because you perform Umrah, so you wear the Ihram first, and you have the restrictions of Ihram. Then you perform Umrah, then you take out the Ihram, you take off the Ihram, and you're out of all the restriction. The restriction don't apply anymore. And then on the day of Hajj, 8th of the Hijjah, you wear the Ihram again. So you're enjoying the time between Umrah and Hajj, the 3 days we are in Mecca. You're enjoying this time with no restriction. You can use shampoo, you can put perfume, and so on. Okay, no restrictions whatsoever. So we'll go into the haram with the sheikh, we'll perform umrah, come out of the haram, cut our hair, and then we're out of ihram. That will be on Sunday, June 1st, inshallah. Then we have 2 days in Mecca. Obviously, the hotel also have breakfast and dinner. During these 2 days in Mecca, Monday and Tuesday, you can do whatever you want. We will have some lectures, inshallah, with the Sheikh to prepare us for Hajj, but you can do whatever you want in Mecca. So some want to perform other Umrahs, you can check, inshallah, with the Sheikh for their opinion. Some they want to get ready for Hajj. The most important advice I can give you is you're going for the 5 days of Hajj. The rest are accessories. So staying in Mecca or staying in Medina, these are accessories. The 5 days of Hajj are the main thing. So always, always, always try to save your energy because you're gonna need it. Okay, although you're going in Magarib caption, it's a VIP package, but still you're gonna need your energy because there is walking. You need to be focused, you need to be healthy to be able to perform Hajj, inshallah. The other two types of Hajj, by the way, I didn't mention them. The other two types are Qiran. Qiran, the word Qiran means to combine. Okay, so Qiran means that you perform Umrah and you keep your Ihram on until Hajj. You perform Hajj, then you take your Ihram off. This is the hardest type of Hajj out of all three. And the last one is Hajj Ifrad. And Ifrad means singular, which means you don't perform Umrah at all, you only perform Hajj. So these are the three types. We do Hajj Tamattu. So all the groups, 99% of the Hujjaj who go from every country, they do Hajj Tamattu unless there is a reason to do Qiran or Ifrad. Okay? So that's why we're performing Hajj Tamattu. Now, on the day of Hajj will be 4th of June. So after we gonna stay in Mecca for 3 days. 1st of June, 2nd of June, 3rd of June. 4th of June, inshallah, which is 8th of the Hijjah, we will work our way to Mina. So we're gonna go by bus, inshallah, to Mina. The camp in Mina is in Magarib Kapsh, right across of Jamarat, as you all know. The meals that will be served there will be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then there are some drinks, there are tea, there's coffee, there are some refreshments. So all of this is available in the camp. Now, when you go to the camp, you're only allowed a small backpack. Okay, so you better buy a small backpack from now to keep it with you because the area in Mina is very limited. Okay, the area is very limited. We only have the place where we sleep, and on top there's like some shelves. That's where we store our backpacks. So when you pack, try to pack something like your phone and your charger, obviously your medication. If you wear glasses, be sure to wear glasses. And by the way, since we mentioned the glasses and medication, my also advice, and that will be all in the document I will be sending all of you, is if you have prescribed medication, be sure to take extra prescription from your doctor. So when you pack them in your handbag. Pack the prescribed medication in your handbag because you don't want to lose your luggage when you travel from Canada to Saudi. You don't want to lose your luggage, God forbid, and then lose your medication as well. So no, it's better to have it in your handbag. And then you have an extra prescription, even a copy or a picture of it is enough. God forbid, if you lose your medication, we're able to help you get that medication in Saudi because they will need to see the prescription. Okay, and the glass, just take an extra pair of glass with you. If one gets lost or broken, then you have the second one. So now we are in Mina. In Mina, the first day, there is nothing to do. You get familiar with the camp and the location. So check out the camp, see where the washrooms are. The washrooms, by the way, have a toilet There's sinks outside, and in the cabinets, there's a toilet and a shower. So you'll be able to take showers, no problem. You're gonna be wearing ihram, so obviously don't use any perfume, don't use any scented soap. The Sheikh, inshallah, will talk about all of these restrictions of ihram when we come to how to perform Umrah or Hajj, inshallah, the last two webinars. On the day of the 8th, so as I said, get familiar with the location, know where the escalator is, where Jamarat is, which restaurant is closer to you. If you're using Apple product, you can get one of those Apple tags with you and leave it in your bag in Mina so that you tag where the location of the camp is. Just this way, if you want to go and walk a little bit outside, you don't get lost. You know how to come back. Now, we ask you to sleep a little early because on the day of the 8th of the Hijjah, which is 4th of June, that's when we get the instructions on when we're going to leave to Arafat. So leaving from Mina to Arafah and from Arafah to Muzdalifah and from Muzdalifah back to Mina is not up to us, okay? And it's not up to the Hujjaj. It is up to the Ministry of Hajj and the Ministry of Transportation. They see exactly where it fits and they send us the schedule. And once we receive that schedule, we follow it. This way, we don't create a stampede. We don't create a crowd, big crowd. When big crowds happen, accidents happen. So we try all to be careful. We want to save, we want to be careful with our own lives and our own health, and also with the other Hujjaj, life and health. So we get the time when we're going to depart to Arafat, inshallah, by train on the next day. So on the Arafah day, which is 5th of June, 9 of the Hijjah. So on that day in Arafah, we're going to take the train. We're going to walk to the station from Mina to the station. That's going to take us from there to Arafah. Once we arrive to Arafah, you're going to have some time to rest. And then, inshallah, by Dhuhr time, there will be a khutbah. And then we will make collective dua, inshallah, together with the Imam, with the Sheikh. And then you will have time to make your own personal dua. You will have time to create your own personal dua, bi'iznillahi ta'ala, before Maghrib time. At Maghrib time or around Maghrib time, we're going to get ready to travel to Muzdalifah. My advice here, especially for those who have diabetes, please be sure not to eat much in Arafah and to use the washroom in advance. So don't wait until the group leaders announce that we're get ready, we're going to leave Arafah to Muzdalifah now. Don't wait. Try to, before Maghrib by an hour or so, try to visit the washroom because it gets busy, okay? And the reason I say this is when we go to Muzdalifah, the washrooms, there are washrooms there, but it's very limited, okay? Very limited washrooms. So you want to be ready, you want to use the washroom, you want to make wudu, and you want to be ready, inshallah, for the departure from Arafah to Muzdalifah. Arafah to Muzdalifah, we also take the train, okay? So we're going to walk to the station, and from the station, we take the train to Muzdalifah. In Muzdalifah, bi'iznillahi ta'ala, we are going to stay the night. So we are going to collect the jamarat, or the jamarat that's enough for the first day at least. And then we'll obviously pray Maghrib and Isha together. And then inshallah, the sunnah is to sleep, to rest, okay? Because you're going to be exhausted. I guarantee you, you'll be exhausted. So you want to rest because the day of Eid, which is the next day, we will have a lot of actions to do, okay? A lot of things that we have to do, rituals for Hajj. So you want to rest and get your energy back. On the time that the Ministry of Hajj is going to give us, which we will share with you, of course, we will leave from Muzdalifah back to Mina. On the way going to the camp, on the way when we arrive to the station in Mina, to go from the station to our camp, we pass by Jamarat. So that's a good thing, inshallah. We can do the first action that is required on that day, which is to throw Jamarat, okay, to throw the first Jamra. So we'll do that, inshallah, on the day of Eid, which is 6th of June. It's going to be a Friday, by the way. So we'll do that. We'll throw Jamarat. All right. Then we'll go to our camp in Mina. The group leaders will share with you when is the time where we're going to go to do Tawaf al-Ifada. So we're going to go to the Haram to do Tawaf and Sa'i. Okay, so the group leaders will share with you the plan, when the buses are coming and how to go. If you would like, if you're familiar with the way and you would like to do it on your own, you absolutely can. And they will share with you when the udhiyah, the sacrifice, is been sacrificed. So there are 4 actions, so I don't confuse you. There are 4 actions we have to do on that day. One is to throw Jamarat, okay? To throw the first Jamra only. 2 is to perform Tawaf al-Ifada, so we will perform Tawaf and Sa'i. 3 is to sacrifice an animal. 4 is to cut or shorten the hair. These are the 4 actions. If you do 3 of them, you can come out of Ihram, okay? So if you do, let's say, the Jamra, you throw it already, alhamdulillah. Then the animal is sacrificed already, alhamdulillah. Then you shave your hair, okay, you come out of Ihram. But it's not fully out of Ihram. It is out of Ihram fully when you perform Tawaf al-Ifada. Okay, so Sheikh, inshallah, will go through this in details because this is more to do with religious aspect, not operation aspect. Okay, so once we're back, like I said, inshallah, the group leaders will announce that the sacrifice is done. Then you can do shave or you can shorten your hair and you can change your clothes. You can, take out the ihram and wear your Eid clothes, okay? So be sure to have something to wear, inshallah, on that day. Then we'll go to perform Tawaf al-Ifada. A beautiful thing, as you all know, we have our room in Mecca is accessible to you 24/7, even during the days of Hajj. The reason I didn't mention that, because the first 2 days, there is no way you can go back to Mecca. The first day, you just came from Mecca to Mina. So it doesn't make any sense that you go back because we're leaving to Arafah by Fajr time or after Fajr time. And Arafah day, we spend the first half of the day or until Maghrib, almost the entire day in Arafah. And from Maghrib until, midnight or after midnight or until Fajr, depending on the Ministry of Hajj, in Muzdalifah. So the entire day, we are doing the rituals of Hajj. So we couldn't go back to our hotel. Now, starting from the Eid day, from 6th of June, all the way until the end of Hajj, we can go anytime to our hotel in Mecca as long as you're back to Mina before Maghrib time, okay? And if you want to go sleep there, then you have to spend part of the night. So the Sheikh, inshallah, is going to go through this in details, but you're going to have to spend part of the night inside Mina, and then you can, at night time after midnight, you can go ahead and leave back to Mecca and sleep in Mecca. My personal advice and the sunnah is to sleep in Mina. I love sleeping in Mina, but I know a lot of people who cannot sleep when others are snoring or coughing, and there will be a lot of snoring and a lot of coughing. So be sure, if you have one of those earplugs, be sure to get them, inshallah. You're gonna need them in Mina. Okay, so back to the day of Eid. So now we performed everything. We can go to the hotel, we can change. So that's why I say a small backpack, don't pack too much, because you're going back and forth to the hotel. You can always put the dirty clothes and then get another clothes from there. So you don't need to pack too much, inshallah. Now we're back to Mina. We have 3 days. We call it Ayyam al-Tashriq, okay? In those 3 days, that's 7th of June, 8th of June, and 9th of June. In these 3 days, we throw jamarat. We are in Mina. We throw jamarat, all three jamarat. We're gonna throw them in these 3 days. So remember, the day of Eid, we only throw one jamra. Okay. The Ayyam al-Tashriq, we're gonna throw all three jamarat. And that's the only action you're required to do in these 3 days. And of course, like Allah said in the Quran, we do a lot of dhikr. Okay, we do a lot of dhikr. So we do tasbih, we do dua, we do dhikr. We have some lectures with the shuyukh. The shuyukh usually focus on advising us how to change our life now that we became hajjis, alhamdulillah, and we performed hajj. When we go back, to Canada and to our life, how do we act different? Shuyukh, inshallah, will take care of that so that when we go back, we know what to do. Okay, so in those 3 days. So some of you would want to shorten, or in Arabi, they do ta'ajjul. Ta'ajjul means that instead of spending 7, 8, 9th of June in Mina, no, they want to only spend 7 and 8. And then on the day of 9th, on the day of 8th, I mean, they want to leave back to Mecca and not to come back, not to throw Jamarat on the 9th. Both ways are acceptable in Islam. Okay, both ways are acceptable in Islam. So you can decide to do ta'ajjul, which means you throw jamarat only on the 7th and the 8th. And once you throw on the 8th, you leave Mina before Maghrib time. Okay, that's one option. And or you can say, no, I want to complete all 3 days. So you do 7, 8, and 9 in Mina. One important note that your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner during this time is not served in the hotel. It is served only in Mina. Okay, in the hotel, only the room is accessible to us, but the meals are only in Mina. Okay, now we are finished. Alhamdulillah, we are on the 9th of June and we're done. We go back to our hotel. Okay, in Mecca. The only action that is left from us is to perform Tawaf al-Wada'. So we have time. We got 10th of June and 11th of June when we depart. Usually, we will announce when is the best time, or the latest. We will tell you when is the latest time to perform Tawaf al-Wada'. This way, you can perform it. You have your luggage ready for departure. Everything is good. A bus will come and pick you up, inshallah, and will take you to the Jeddah airport to depart. This is the package in a nutshell, going day by day between Medina to Mecca to Hajj and then departure, bi'iznillahi ta'ala. Jazakumullah khair for listening. Now I'm going to open the questions and answers. I'm going to request that you would raise your hand. This way it is more organized, inshallah. I'm ready for the questions. Go ahead. No questions? Oh, yes. Okay. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Okay. Yeah. Brother Sufyan, go ahead. Brother Sufyan?
Hear me? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
I guess my question was, when we're talking about the beginning of the package, you went straight to arriving in Medina, but I guess we learned there will be one day in Dubai that we have to spend. Will there be people from the group to help facilitate that? Because we didn't get too much information on what's taking place with that extra day in Dubai.
Jazakallah khair. So basically, the airline ticket, the reason I started from right away from Medina is that the airline ticket, they are working on it right now in Dur. So Dur is working on the airline ticket with Falcon Travel, with Hajj Ala. They're working on getting all the tickets done, inshallah. So part of that is your stay in Dubai. So this stay is provided by the airline. Okay, so that one day is provided by the airline. So upon your arrival, bi'Iznillah ta'ala, like in any, when you travel and the airline, if when you have a layover beyond 11 or 12 hours, they give you a hotel. So upon your arrival, the group will go to the counter, the Emirates counter, and then they give you the hotel and the food voucher. And the bus will come pick you up, drop you off to the hotel. You'll have the voucher for the food there, and then they will give you the voucher for the bus who's gonna come to pick you up from the hotel back to the airport. So all of this information, it's still, I don't have it with me, but it will come biiznillah ta'ala once everything is finalized with the tickets. Then it will come and we will be able to share it on the WhatsApp group biiznillah.
Okay, sounds good. Jazakallah.
جزانا وإياكم حبيبنا. Brother Ismail, please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليك السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
That was one of my questions about initially arriving in Dubai. The other question I have is when we are in Medina, is Falcon going to organize the router, or is that going to have to be done individually?
Sorry, is Falcon going to organize what?
The router, the visit.
Oh, Subhanallah, I forgot to mention this. I apologize. So Hajj Ala Falcon Travel, they already organized the Rawda for everybody. Okay, so
Okay.
everyone, the way Nusuk is doing it this year, the Ministry of Hajj is doing it this year, is they're sending in groups, not individuals. So every group, depending on the arrival, inshallah, will have a specific day and time for men and a specific day and time for ladies to enter Al-Rawda bi'Iznillah ta'ala. So upon your arrival in Medina, you're gonna have that day and time, so you're ready at this time, and we'll go together. So you're not gonna be alone. There will be one of the group leaders or one of the shuyukh will be together with you bi'Iznillah to take you to Al-Rawda. So it's arranged, alhamdulillah.
Jazakallah.
جزانا وإياكم حبيبنا. I have I don't know the name, but it says HP.
Assalamu alaikum. It's Humayun.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I have two questions.
Go
The
ahead.
first question was in terms of if I guess what is provided by Dur or slash Falcon upon arrival to Saudi, and then the other question was how long is it from Mina to the hotel in Makkah?
Okay. When you say, for the first question, when you say what is provided, what are you referring to?
I guess, is there anything provided by Dur or Falcon? When I was researching in terms of different packages and groups, I've read or heard from other groups that some things are provided, I think specifically for Mina. I guess as part of that question, is there anything provided?
Yes, of course. So Dur has its own, I guess we could call it Hajj kit, their own Hajj kit that they will provide. This is just, you're gonna take this, but you're gonna take it in Mina or before you go to Mina. So most likely it's gonna be in Mecca, or when you arrive to Mina, you will see it on the bed, on the where you're gonna sleep, inshallah. So this is 2 years. Last year we got it at the hotel in Mecca. The year before we got it in Mina when we arrived to Mina. So that's the Hajj kit. And usually this kit would have an umbrella. It will have a small bag for the Jamarat. It will have a shaving kit for after Hajj, inshallah, when you get out of Ihram. Usually that's the basic stuff that each kit will have. Now they might add additional things as well. I'm gonna check with Dur, inshallah, and I'll let you know. But it's a very good question that you asked this. I think I mentioned that when I was explaining the package. I'm going to also send you a recommended packing list. So I never use the kit. I never use the kit that they give. I always prepare my own things depending on what I need. So, for example, one of the things that the most important thing in Hajj for men is the slipper that you use when you are in Ihram, because you do a lot of walking when you wear that slipper, for example. So I count that as part of the Hajj kit. Okay, so I like to buy something that's very comfortable for my leg, because you're gonna be doing a lot of walking. When you do the tawaf, you can wear it. When you do sa'i, you can wear it. When you're going from your camp to Jamarat and back. So all of this while you're using an Arafah, Muzdalifah, all of this when you're wearing ihram, you're wearing the slipper. You're not wearing shoes or socks. So obviously the slipper has to be very comfortable. Umbrella is a must, 100%, because of the heat. Comes with it, and you can, by the way, you can buy all of this in Saudi, and they're very cheap there. You don't have to worry about getting it from here, except the slippers. The slipper, I would advise that you get it from here. Another thing that is important is the water bottle that has a fan. You're gonna find those, you'll find them here in Canada, but you also find them a lot in Saudi. Get them from Saudi, inshallah. This is basically when you're walking and it's the heat is a little bit too much, you can use them to refreshen yourself. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I will send you this packing list, bi'iznillahi ta'ala, so you can have a look at it. You can try to buy the items from there, or if you think you don't need these items, you don't have to buy them. But definitely you're gonna get a Hajj kit, inshallah, from Dur. And I know that Hajj ala Falcon Travel, they will, bi'iznillahi ta'ala, include a couple of items as well. I'll find out what items exactly they are going to include, and I'll share that with you, bi'iznillahi ta'ala.
And the other question I had is how long is it from Mina to the Makkah hotel?
Yes, and for that second question, so from Mina to the hotel, it depends how you are going to go. For example, if you decided to walk, so it is about 4 kilometers from Mina to the Haram. The hotel is a couple of minutes from the Haram, nine minutes walking slow from the Haram. It's not even a couple of meters. So this is not going to be an issue, inshallah. Once you go, you are passing by the hotel before you reach the Haram. Okay, so it's about 4 kilometers. So if you walk, I would say it will take you about 40 minutes maximum. And that's if you're going slow. If you take a taxi or a bus, in regular days, it should take about 15 minutes, but because of the crowd during Hajj, it should take approximately the same thing, about 30 minutes to 40 minutes. Now, here's the nice thing about taking the bus. All the buses have to stop a little bit away from the Haram. They cannot stop right at the Haram. So there is a specific station for the buses. This station for the buses is right across of your hotel, right across of Ajyad Hotel. Okay, so that's a beautiful thing. If you take the bus will always drop you right across of your hotel. So yeah, so it's about 4 kilometers, inshallah. وزينا وإياكم حبيبنا. Ashfaq Ahmed, please go ahead. Ashfaq Ahmed.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. It's Ashfaq.
Alaikum
Yeah, I
assalam.
have two questions. I have two questions. Number one, when we are doing the first tawaf, is on the Eid day or after?
The first tawaf is done on the Eid day, and you can do it after, and you can delay it even after. You can delay it even when you finish Mina days, but it depends on which madhab you follow. So my recommendation, inshallah, would be, so if you're Hanafi, it's different, a little bit different than the other madahib. Some madahib, they require that you perform tawaf al-ifada on the Eid day, okay? And some, they say you can delay them until Ayyam al-Tashriq is done. So until you come back to Mecca. All right?
Okay.
And other madahib, they say you have all Dhul Hijjah. It's open. So my recommendation would be when we have the session of Hajj, how to perform Hajj with Sheikh Riyadh, biiznillah ta'ala, you could check with him. And also when, like in inshallah Saudi, when we are there, you can check with him. So this way you can perform it according to your madhab, biiznillah.
Okay. So you said in the first day you will provide the bus. So when you were saying provide the bus, it will be the first day or the next few days? Every day will provide the bus to go to Kaaba.
It will be the first day.
Okay, and the bus you said can't reach all the way to Kaaba. We have to stop near the hotel, and then from hotel we go there, right?
Exactly, exactly. And it's only 9 minutes walk. It's not like,
Okay.
yeah, it's not too
Okay,
much.
so for the bus service, it's be only the first day or every day we'll provide so that we can go.
It all depends, brother Ashfaq. It all depends on if the Ministry of Hajj give us the permit or not. The buses, we pay for them. Okay, so Dur, they pay for the buses. So the buses is paid for the 5 days of Hajj, right? The only thing is that Ministry of Hajj, depending on the crowd, some years, alhamdulillah, the Mina was almost not, I don't want to say empty, but it was nice. And there's like last year, for example, we had buses and we had microbus, like the small one that takes 14 passengers. We had them every day. So people were able to take them and go to the haram every day if they want to, or go to the hotel every day. Okay. And some other year, like the year before, 2023, we only had it on the Eid day, right?
Okay.
So
So it's just not a one way, it's a both ways, right? We can come back using the bus or we have to on our own.
yeah, no. It's both ways. So
Okay.
when the bus comes, we give you the departure from the departure time from Mina, and then the departure time from the bus station.
Okay. Okay. So my second question about the Qurbani ba Udia. So we have to pay in US dollar.
Yes.
So we are Canadian. There's no way that we can. It means we have to carry the cash, US dollar cash from here. And how can we pay?
No, you don't have to carry it from here. You can buy it from there. So
Okay.
you can.
I mean, why don't you make it Canadian dollar? Why US dollar?
The
That's my
only
question. Because
Okay, the only problem, brother, and the reason why we say the US is because Saudi Arabia,
Mhm.
US dollar doesn't change. It's 3.75. The rate does
Oh,
not
okay.
change, where the Canadian dollar rate fluctuates. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. So we deal with a farm. A private farm, they bring these, we send a representative, and this representative watch with the eyes
Yeah.
where all these animals are being sacrificed by numbers. So, for example, Ahmed will have number one, and this animal is sacrificed for Ahmed, and then Ali, and then Ibrahim.
Okay. Yeah.
So when we pay them in US dollars as well. So it makes the calculation easier. This is how many Qurbanis, and that's how much it is in US.
Okay. And you are not providing any ihram cloths, right? We have to have our own, right? Because some of
Correct.
the other company they're providing. That's why I'm asking.
Correct. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to buy your own, inshallah. We used to provide them, obviously, when like in the years before, but this year you're gonna have to buy them, inshallah, in Medina. Don't buy them from here. In Medina, they have way better quality and way cheaper price than Canada.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
You're very welcome, brother. Anytime. We got Iram, Sister Iram.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Ahmed.
عليك السلام ورحمة
Good to
الله
see
تعالى
you back
وبركاته.
in the group. We
جزاك
hope
الله.
you feel better. Brother Ahmed, Jazakallah, my first question was about Ramadan. That's already been answered. So I'm happy to hear that. To go into in the Masjid al-Nabawi. So we will grow in the group. You already cleared that. I have two quick questions. One is that the form that you sent us in the group earlier, a few days back, to fill if you are have two different accounts and know each other and you want to stay together in one room, because you mentioned that if you already have a double room or a triple room, you are by default together. But what if we had booked a quad room, and for example, me and my husband, we want to stay together in Medina, are we going to use the same form? I think I messaged Brother Khouly at time, and he replied back to me saying, yes, sister, just fill the same form. I wasn't sure if that's what I was supposed to do. That's what I wanted to ask. Because at the time of booking, because not in Makkah, but in Medina, I want to take the double room. So that's why I'm asking, should I fill up that form? Yes, no? That was my question first, please.
Okay, inshallah. So just to confirm,
Yes.
so the question is, if you booked a quad room, say for example, a husband and wife,
Mhm.
both booked a quad room, are
Yeah,
you able to stay together as in like upgrade your room in Medina to double and
correct.
still stay in quad in Mecca? Is that the
Correct.
question?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so yes, absolutely. So if you want to, you could, if you want to upgrade to double in Medina,
Yeah.
you can do that. You can fill that form,
Okay.
but
Oh,
it depends on availability. So
of
inshallah,
course.
what Dur is doing right now, they're working on finalizing the airline tickets. Uh,
Okay.
and then after that, and obviously the visas, some Hajjaj didn't receive
Right.
visas yet. So
Oh,
they're doing that right now with the Ministry of Hajj. And once this is done, they are going to work on the operation, which is basically the rooming, right?
right.
So they gonna let us know how much it's gonna be. And
Okay.
obviously we are going to run this by you first if you fill the form.
Mm-hmm.
In the form, by the way, there is an option that you could choose Medina only, that you want to upgrade only in Medina.
I didn't see that form, brother. I saw the form. There were two areas to fill. One was my email address and my name. And in the other section where it asked me for the second person, I put my husband's name and his email address. And below his email address, there was more space. So I put a note there
Oh,
that
so
I
that's
want an upgrade in Medina for a double room. That's what I did because I didn't see anything else on that
oh,
form.
that's not the form, Sister Aram. So there were two forms that we sent. Okay. There was one form, what you're talking about was one form that, let's say you want to stay to, let's say, for example, you have three sisters who are going on the same package and you know each other, like friends or
Yeah.
family friends, and
Yeah.
you want to stay together, then you can fill that form. Okay, that's the form you can fill. The other form that I sent is the upgrade request. In that form, you mention your name and your husband's name, and you mention what you choose. You choose which option you want to go from, like quad to triple or quad to double. And then you choose, is it Medina only or you want Medina and Mecca? There are two forms. I think you only saw the form for the roommate to choose
Yeah.
your roommate, but that's not the form I'm talking about. I'm actually going to, just in case, um, I'm going to send it again.
Yes, please, Brother Amir, because I did not see the other form. And I remember when I asked this question, and some other brothers also mentioned the same thing, what I was asking. So maybe because I didn't see that form.
Oh,
If you
okay,
can please
okay.
re-update it, yeah, because I just filled the other form. So if you have the proper form for this for upgrade, please, if you can share that again, so I will fill that up right away.
Yes, I'm actually going to do it as we speak so that I don't forget.
Perfect.
Yes, that's perfect. That's the package. Now in this form, you're not going to see the happiness package. Okay, I'm going to update it because originally it was just for I'll update the form and post it today, inshallah.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll wait for that, Brother Ahmed.
I'll do
And
that.
Brother Ahmed, because you mentioned that every Hajjaj needs to be in the group, I'm going to send a request to you on the group to with my husband's phone number so you can add him in the WhatsApp group because right now
So
it's just me.
so the group is open, Sister Aram. We leave the group open intentionally. So
Okay.
this way that everybody can add whoever Hujjaj they want.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the group is open. Try to add him
Okay.
yourself, inshallah. If you couldn't, please let me know so that
Sure.
I can check the settings of the group because it's important, inshallah. Thank you
Of
for
course.
bringing this up. Yeah.
Of course. A very quick thing, Brother Ahmed. The Emirates airline that is leaving on 26 for Dubai,
Yes.
will there be anybody from the Falcon Group joining us in that, or no? Or we
No.
will just meet them in Dubai?
Exactly. You're gonna meet them in Medina. So everyone
Okay.
is going on the 24th. So all the Falcon
Oh,
group,
okay.
the Sheikh, Hajj Ala, Shadi, Sheikh Abdullah, Sheikh Riyad, like all the shuyukh and the group leaders are leaving, inshallah, with the 24th group, the first group that's gonna arrive
Okay.
to Medina. And unfortunately, in the old days before Corona, before COVID, when there was like private companies here in Canada, we had more power on what we can do and what we can't do. So we had a group leader with every trip that is leaving. But now we don't have the same power of like freedom, I guess I should say that. We don't have the same freedom anymore. So they require, the Ministry of Hajj and Dur, they require that we travel with the first group and that we return with the last group. So this way we are there to receive the Hajjaj. But like any other time when you travel, going anywhere, it's just, you know, the travel from Toronto to Medina. That's all.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Jazakallah khairan, Brother Ahmed. Thank you.
You're very welcome, sister. You're very welcome, Sister Adam. We got here Brother Sufyan.
Yeah, I just was thinking about another question there.
Sure.
Among the group leaders and the sheikhs that are with us,
Yeah.
do you know if any are going to be staying at the same hotels that this package is with, like Happiness? Like, is there?
All of them.
There's
Oh.
4 group leaders, right? And like about 7 packages. So I was curious if there's any that are specifically going to be traveling with us in our group, like where we are.
So we're talking about the airline, or we're talking
No,
about?
just like in Mecca, we have like we're in the Ajiyad hotel. So
Yeah.
is there like a group leader who will be staying in the Ajiyad hotel, like one of them with us, or?
Of course. So in Medina, it's the same hotel
It's the same, yeah.
for all the packages almost.
Yeah.
So all the group leaders and shuyukh will be in the same hotel. In Mecca, what I know it's gonna happen, inshallah, is all the group leaders and shuyukh will be in Ajiyad as well.
Oh.
Now they're not going to be so they're not going to. The reason I say that is because in Marwa Rotana and Zamzam, it's very limited. Like
Okay.
in the 2 hotels that's in Abraj Al Bayt, the rooms are very, very, very limited. So it's going to be difficult for Dur to just let go of a room there, right? But they own Makarim Ajiyad, right? Like that's their hotel. That's Dur's. So they own the hotel. So I think they will host us as group leaders and shuyukh. They will host us in their hotel rather than, you know, staying in a different hotel and pay for that.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me, Ahmed?
Oh, Hajj Ala, yes, I can hear you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Can everyone hear me?
Everyone can hear you.
Okay, assalamu alaikum. My name is El-Khouly. I am one of the group leaders leading this group, inshallah. First of all, I would like to congratulate every one of you. MashaAllah, you got your visa. Everybody got the visa?
Anybody here didn't get the visa?
Okay, alhamdulillah. We almost 97% of people getting the visa. So if you are patient enough with this limited number, inshallah, I'm working this weekend to get your visa. Before I start, I would like to thank Brother Ahmed for his sincerity. This guy, he just left the hospital a few days ago. So I would like all of you to make dua for him to recover, even though, for saying that, he insists to do this groups and seminars with you. I was planning to do so, but he insists to get in by himself. However, I would like to thank you on behalf of you, and I would like to join you, inshallah, making dua for his recovery. I'm not gonna take too much of your time. I'm so sorry. I had an emergency. I am on the road. I am driving. But as Brother Ahmed said, you have me, you have Shadi, you have Ahmed, you have Sheikh Riyad, you have Sheikh Abdullah, you have Sheikh Ashraf, you have lots of group leaders that's here in Canada. Plus, inshallah, when we arrive to Saudi Arabia, we have labels, we have group leaders, and we have shuyukh, because we exchange our shuyukh. Like last year, we have lots of shuyukh. This year, we have lots of shuyukh. So, inshallah, when it comes to logistic, the group leaders, they can help you out. When it comes to religious, all the shuyukh can help you out. Inshallah, I'm sorry to get in the middle of Brother Ahmed was talking, but I just would like to make everybody sure, inshallah, that you're gonna have the group leaders, the shuyukh, and everybody is welcome for you. And I'm gonna say it, I'm proud with my team to serve you. So alhamdulillah, people has been chosen this year for performing Hajj. MashaAllah, good luck, and don't worry, all you have to do, just one word, be patient. Patient with everything around you. And inshallah, myself and my team and my group leader, my shuyukh, my staff, everybody inshallah is welcome for you. So I'm not gonna get to any details. If you have any logistic, Ahmed, he's there, I'm here, Shadi, Khalid, Sheikh Riyad. Like if you have logistic, you can answer, we can answer you. If you have any religious, we have more than one sheikh, inshallah. So don't worry about anything. If you have any question or any concern, serious question, if you have it, please send it to Brother Ahmed, send it to me, and would love to make sure that everything in place for you. I'm not gonna take too much of your time. Once again, I just would like to introduce myself and thank everybody for trusting in us. Alhamdulillah, as a team, as Brother Ahmed just said, before Corona, we had full power. Right now, yes, our power is less, but Alhamdulillah, we are operating, and you are in business since 1980. Our first group was 1992. So Alhamdulillah, we have enough experience to solve any problem if it's there. And every year we have new problems. So don't worry about anything. Everything has been covered for you. And inshallah, we are doing the almost best to give you the best service where you can do your ibadah, inshallah, and will get the ajr from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are serving you, we are serving Hujjaj, and we are proud to do this. Alhamdulillah, once again, and thank you so much. And I'm so sorry to interrupt you guys, but I would like, I'm hearing what Brother Ahmed said. So Jazallah kull khair. Once again, make dua for him and make dua for us. And please, 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 please be patient. Be patient with everything around you. Just think that you're gonna go meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, visit his house, visit the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, make sure to forgive everyone, make sure to be happy, excited. You guys gonna go to Hajj. Hajj is a big deal. Hajj is farida. So alhamdulillah, nowadays Hajj is very, very easy. And I think I took too much of your time. Jazakumullah kull khair. Brother Ahmed is gonna give you my phone number, my WhatsApp as well. And if you have any concern, please let me know and I will do my best job. Jazakumullah khair. And so sorry for interruption.
Jazakallah khair, Hajj Ala. Jazakallah khair.
Shukran, Brother Ahmed. You can go ahead, sorry.
It's okay. So, Brother Rashid. Brother Rashid Ansari, you have a question? Brother Rashid?
Um,
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, assalamu alaikum, brother.
Alaikum salam.
I have a quick question regarding when we reach to Saudi, do we need to buy our own mobile SIM to use internet or for Nusuk app?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. That's a beautiful question. So I forgot to mention that actually. So bi'iznillahi ta'ala, one of the things I'll be sending you on the WhatsApp close to the departure date is I want everyone to take a picture, a clear picture of your phone, of your passport and your Hajj visa. Okay, you need to keep this on your phone when you arrive to Medina, inshallah. And once you arrive to the hotel, the group leader is gonna show you or is gonna bring you a person that one of the representative of the telecommunication companies that are there, like Mobily or STC, one of those companies who have good deals. What you will need bi'iznillahi ta'ala, all of this I'm going to share on the WhatsApp group, but take a note of it right now. You're going to get a SIM card. What you need is data, not minutes, okay? Because you could use the data to call back home, like here in Canada, and you could use it also to check your email, all that. But you all gonna need a SIM card, and in order to get a SIM card, they're gonna ask to see a copy of your visa and a copy of your passport. So the easiest way, so you don't have to carry the passport and visa on you all the time, the easiest way would be to have a copy of it on the phone, inshallah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Habibi. Jazakallah khair, brother Rashid. So, inshallah, I think we answered all the questions. This is a recorded webinar, so I'm going to put it, bi'iznillahi ta'ala, I'm going to host it first, and then I'll put the link in the group for those who didn't attend. Also, from now until Hajj, as Hajj Ala said, if you have any question, don't hesitate, put it in the group. And inshallah, me, Brother Shadi, Agala, Shiyukh, one of us will answer. This way, everyone can benefit, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you so much for taking the time to attend this beautiful webinar. It's beautiful because you guys are here. We're here to serve you. It is our honor, like Hajj Ala said, it's our honor for us to get to serve the guests and the chosen guests of Allah every year, alhamdulillah. May Allah accept from you, may Allah grant you Hajj Mabrur, may Allah allow us to serve you at the best level we can, bi'iznillahi ta'ala. Jazakumullah khair. Please don't forget us in your dua, and we'll see you all inshallah in the next webinar, which will be Sunday, 4th of May at 2:30 p.m. Toronto time with Sheikh Riyad on how to perform Umrah. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Brother Ahmed, please do send us that form. Don't
I
forget
will.
to fill the form.
I
Thank
will.
you.
I will, Sister Iram. Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakallah, brother.
I will.
Allah.
Jazakumullah khair.
جزاك الله خير حبيبنا احمد بارك الله فيك. Great job.
Sheikh Riyad, حبيبي.
Great job حبيبي. Great job. بارك الله فيك.
بارك الله فيك شيخ رياض. جزاك الله خير. جزاك الله خير.
I think you can do the 232 because I first time I heard everything today, and I think you should do the job of the Sheikh as well, son.
Allahu Akbar.
Inshallah, I think you should do it on Sunday.
No, I'm gonna take over of the shuyukh, inshallah.
لا حج عليه, he always does it anyways, so you don't have to take over. You always do it.
Sheikh Riyad is there, mashallah, mashallah.
Of course, I'm here and I'm spying. I'm taking notes.
Good to hear your voice, Sheikh Riyad.
I'm here, alhamdulillah, حج عليه. I'm here, alhamdulillah. Ahmed, I'm so happy to see Ahmed. Hold on. Let me, because I'll put my camera on.
Okay, can you get out? Can you get out of the webinar, and then Ahmed call me with Sheikh Riyad, please?
Okay, inshallah. Inshallah.
He looks so beautiful, mashallah. He lost lots of weight. I can tell, mashallah. Hey, nah, mashallah, you did amazing. You look really, really good, mashallah. Keep it.
Make dua, Sheikh Riyad, make dua for Ahmed. He's still recovering. and he insists to do his webinar by himself. So
MashaAllah Ali, MashaAllah Ali. He did amazing. He did amazing.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him. And inshallah, كل ما يا شيخ رياض كل ما يا أحمد after.
يلا اوكي يلا بسم الله.
جزاكم الله خير.
يلا
السلام عليكم.
السلام عليكم.